Quebec, low traffic, runway 18 clear for takeoff.
We can now connect the iPad to the Garmin. The way we're going to do that is we're going to navigate to the auxiliary menu. We're then going to scroll over to where it says Bluetooth status at the top. We're then going to select the Bluetooth status page. The cursor has to be at the Bluetooth name field blinking in order to connect to the iPad. On the iPad now, we should be able to see the Flightstream November 734 Romeo Quebec show up on the other devices. And here we click on that on the iPad, and we should then get prompted on the Garmin and on the iPad to connect. And now we hit the enter key on the Garmin, and on the iPad we can hit pair, and we've now connected via Bluetooth the Garmin 430 or the 530 to the iPad, and the iPad will now show connected under the Bluetooth status page. If we want to disconnect the iPad, there's 6 allowable pairings at any given time, 2 that can be active. So let's say we come out to the airplane and there's already 6 here, and we want to disconnect the iPads. We can go in and disconnect the iPad by doing this. We scroll down to the number that is shown. We then hit the clear key, and we can say unpair. And now Flywell iPad number 4 is going to go away. And we then will only see the other remaining iPads that are connected. On the Bluetooth page for the iPad itself, we'll still see the Flightstream November 734 Romeo Quebec. That now needs to be removed by hitting the information key and saying forget this device. Otherwise, you will not be able to reconnect until you clean this up on the iPad. So you have to do forget this device so that you can then set up for the next pairing of the iPad to the 430. So that we basically have connected and disconnected the iPad from the 430. The ForeFlight application on the iPad, let's say we want to put in a flight plan, and we're just going to put in a simple route here, Anoka to Brainerd. And we're just going to have a simple plan. On the top of the iPad, you'll notice right next to where the blue key is highlighted, there's another key that shows like a double parentheses with a plus sign. This simple flight plan that I've created, not through the flight plan function in the iPad itself, but just by entering a map, I can take this button here at the top and I can say send a panel. So now this flight plan, Anoka to Brainerd, is now showing up on the Garmin 430. If you look at the bottom, we have a message, and we actually, I think, have a couple messages that might be showing up. Let's go over to the flight plan page, because we should have a flight plan that has shown up in the pending flight plan page, and there it is, Anoka to Brainerd. So if I select that guy and I hit enter, it now loads it into the flight plan and it's asking me to activate it. And there it is. We've just loaded it into our flight plan in the Garmin. So what we've done is we've taken the very simple plan of going from Anoka to Brainerd, and we've uploaded it to the status or the standby page on the flight plan menu. And then once I've activated it, it loads it into the flight plan on the Garmin, and it's now active. If we want to change this, let's say we want to put in a waypoint here, and let's just say we want to put in Whisk, which is a waypoint to the west, east of Anoka. So let's say we want to put in a waypoint here of Whisk. We can go up to the Garmin, and there it is, Whisk intersection. We now have a flight plan with 3 waypoints, and it's loaded, and I can now download it from the Garmin 430 to the iPad for flight application by hitting the load route prompt. So if you see on the iPad, you'll see that the route is actually changed. We go straight east, then we go northwest to Brainerd, which doesn't make sense under most conditions, but it's just an opportunity to show how the route can be changed either from the Garmin 430 or from the iPad to send it one way or the other.